You want to try that again, troll? Actually, I do. Thank you. You're welcome. You too. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dion, and this is Tillamook Mint Chocolate Chip Ice Cream Lip Balm. And I went out earlier, and I was a little annoyed. And this gives me fond memories. It was sent to me by a dear friend, and it does smell and feel amazing. And so I put this on, and I was comforted. So I said, you know what, we're going to use this for the rest of the day. And also, not to say my chapsticks aren't near and dear to my heart as well, because those were gifted to me by friends too. It's just that Tillamook is so unique. I mean, it's the only one I have, so it's like, Tillamook. So anyway, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dion. I call this the crazy troll nation of YouTube. The crazy, just enjoying the videos that you do, enjoying the videos that you watch, enjoying your time here on YouTube. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. You set the standard for yourself. Try not to feel like you need to use a certain brand or a certain technique or a certain tool. Use whatever you want to use to get your makeup on, in a way that you are satisfied with it. So that's the crazy troll nation part, is just knowing it's okay to be you, rocking whatever you want to rock. Because here at the Crazy Troll Nation, we are about self-acceptance and self-love, embracing our natural features, enhancing them if you want to, when you want to, but never feeling like you have to. Love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even without face paint on. So I appreciate you being here. Before I forget, and if you are new here, you need to know this bit. I do curse in my videos sometimes, because I do curse, like, for real sometimes. And so I do try to catch myself. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I do try for the sake of videos. I know some of you were like, so what? And I also know that some people, it is a little offensive. And so that's why I do try to catch myself, because I want all of you who watch to be glad that you're here. And I'll be like, oh my God, did she just say? Yeah, she really did just say that. Yeah, so if you don't know, now you know. This video, I'm excited about it because I am pairing again, as you can tell from the title, 2 more Pat McGrath palettes, and I am doing it in a systematic way, starting from 1 to 6 and then 10, and seeing what pairs with what. And so we will be working through them all again. This is part 2, which is the pairings. And so we are going to use Subliminal, which is Mothership number 1, and Decadence Mothership number 4. And I know this looks weird, me holding them like that. I'm weird sometimes, y'all, if y'all didn't realize that already. And these look like they would kind of go. Decadence is all metallic, and it smells like vanilla. The only palette that's all metallic, the only one that smells like vanilla. And a lot of people I hear say, this is a great companion palette. I only have used this on its own, ever. Some of the shades blend out to me into a matte, particularly this one here and this one and this one. And so I've only ever used this palette by itself. Me pairing palettes is new to me, period. But pairing the Motherships is definitely new to me. And we're still going to do outward, inward, dark to light. I am really liking that. And I think it's going to become something that I do on a regular basis, alternating it between inward, outward, light to dark. So I think it'll just be just like another technique that I do depending on what I feel like doing that day. But I am really liking this one. And I'm also noticing with this technique that I don't do an upper transition color. And so that's new. When I do inward, outward, light to dark, I still do typically do a transition shade. If you're noticing something on my lower waterline, I ordered something that came in the mail earlier today, and I tried it on because I wanted to make sure it wasn't going to irritate my lids, and it didn't. And I was surprised when I looked before the video, it is still on my waterline. So, but you'll hear about that in, the haul video. So we're going to start with Subliminal Mothership number 1, Extreme Black, this shade here. And this is going to go on the outer corner. I am excited because after this video, I'm going to do the announcement for the scavenger hunt, and I just remembered that I need to print out the questions. They will be in the description box of that video as well, definitely, because you're going to need to know what the questions are other than just having to play back me saying what the questions are. And also it keeps me on track too, because I'll be like, what's this question? What's this answer to that they're sending me? There are 25 questions. I think it's 25 questions, but everything will be numbered. The information and everything will be below in that video, but I am just super excited. And I did give some tidbits along the way in this series, hint, hint, and other stuff you may just know from being here, however long you've been here. But I didn't want to make it too hard. At the same time, I didn't want it to be too easy, because scavenger hunts, you got to go find stuff. But I didn't want it to be something that you wouldn't know like where to look or what video series it might be in or something like that. But I do think if you've been with me for a while, I do think some of the questions will be like, this is easy. And there are a few that may be challenging. And so anyway, that's why I did give some tidbits to help out some of my newer viewers, because I don't want you to feel frustrated, like look at the questions and be like, I ain't even answering this because that's just, I don't know what the answers would be. I don't know where to look. She crazy, which I am a little touched. But I wanted to be fun, and I would like as many of you to answer as possible. So yeah, so I was keeping all of that in mind, not making it too hard, but also not making it super easy where, you know, if 20 of you answer, all 20 of you get all the answers right. And there is at least one bonus question that you will get extra points for. But again, all that information will be in the description box of that video. This looks so weird when I first start out. It does. But we're going to, of course, you know by now, it's going to work out. I'm just lightly tapping. I'm not going to blend too much with the black because the next shade will help blend that, even though I don't typically use a shade to blend out a shade. So we're going to, I kind of want to just flip this brush over, even though that's not something I typically do, because even though we use that side, you see some on the top. So we're not. We're going to take another one, and we're going to go into Decadence, and we're going to take Underworld, this blue right here. I don't know why I thought I was putting a gray here, but we're going to put this next to the black. Let me know below if you're excited about the scavenger hunt. Some of you, when I first announced the idea, some of you were really excited, but let me know if you're still feeling excited hearing that it's like 25 questions. It will be open at least 3 weeks, I think, and I was wanting to leave it open longer than that, but with videos, like once it airs and a few people watch, it seems my videos seem to continue to get views for about 2 weeks, and then that's kind of it. And I know for those of you who do watch a lot of videos, it's hard to stay caught up. And so even if I left it open a month, after like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, more people really wouldn't watch it. Yes, I'm still thinking on that, but maybe at least 3 weeks. And of course, I'll keep announcing it. Put the link in the pinned comment or in the description box and mention it that it's still open or something like that. But I don't want to be too redundant where it's like, okay, she mentioned it for like the 12th time. You know what I mean? That blue, at first it looks super dark. Like here it's dark, but then when I raise my brows, then you see that blue. So let me just put a little bit more right here. I was thinking I was putting a gray here, which is why I didn't tap out more of that black, but we're using the tip of the brush with the blue, and we're tapping over that top line of the black. I am digging this. I just tapped in lightly so I can put some more right here, and we're going to tap the top of the black with that blue. And so that is that. I am just so excited to be trying new things. We're going to stay in Decadence, and we're going to take Divine Mink, this shade here, which we're going to put somewhat in the center. And I noticed too, I go like on an angle, but then as we get further in, it ends up not being on an angle. And I think that happens because I'm trying to do a sharp edge, even though it's still, I'm back to the rounded kind of thing. This side is more sharp than this side. And so that's something I need to continue to work on, because I do like it when it's a sharp edge. I really do. So we're tapping this here. Yo, look at these shadows. I was saying how I'm really liking the gradient of doing the outward, inward, dark to light, and how the shades kind of blend themselves, because you don't see me blending back and forth in between like I do when I do inward to outward. And I think it might have been Tanya. She said for the price, they need to blend themselves, and I agree. I agree. Even on sale, if I get a Mothership for $77, $80, and it's 10 shadows in here, so that's like $8 a shadow, which isn't unheard of at all. But still, when you think of $129 palette, even if you get it for $80, it's still like $80. So yeah, they need to be easy to work with, and that's why I don't mind paying the price. Like, yes, it still sounds like a lot. Even $77 sounds like a lot, $80 a lot. But this is also why, if I have a palette where I have to make it work, I'll just go to a palette I know it's just going to work without me having to put extra effort into it. You know what I mean? And something being less expensive to me is not an excuse. Like, you can still put out a quality product. I remember I used to really love the Wet n Wild palettes back when I had the 8 pans, and one side was like a shimmer side and one side was a matte side, and it told you it was great for beginners. It had outer corner, transition shade, lid shade, you know, stuff like that. So if you were new to makeup, those were really nice, and the quality was really good. And I'm not going to say it was good for drugstore like I hear people say. It was just good. And I really enjoyed those palettes, and because I was newer to makeup, so we're going back like 20 years, it really helped me with color placement too, because I was like, I don't know where to put these colors. But yeah, being inexpensive is not an excuse to be poor quality. I'm trying to see which brush had Divine Mink on it. I believe it was this one. I'm trying to keep the brushes in order in case I want to go back to it, which we are still going back to Divine Mink, because it looks like there's more here than here, or it might just be what I'm seeing. Maybe my eyeballs just crossed or crooked or something. I don't know, which is a possibility. Now we're going to go back to Mothership number 1, and we're going to take Substance, which is this shade right here, and that's going to go inside of Divine Mink. And these two, well, in the pan, they're very different, and they're different textures. But we're going to tap this right here. This is lighter in tone. I am really glad that I saw that information on Temptalia.com website when she said what palette would go with what. The first video I did pairing them, I was just like, I didn't see it. I'm like, when I first glanced, I'm like, oh yeah, great, cool. But then when I looked at the palettes next to each other, I was like, I don't know. But you know what? That look came out nice. And so, but looking at these are easier. Number one, because Decadence is all metallic. And Subliminal Mothership 1 has mattes in it. So that's easy, because most people do pair mattes with metallics and shimmers. You know what I mean? So this one was easier to sit and look at and figure what goes where. It was just, how can we get that gradient that I've been doing like this entire series so far? You know what I mean? And so, but yeah, you see how those just kind of look. I am just so thrilled. This is why I encourage y'all, play in y'all makeup. Just play around and just see what happens. So that is that. So I'm going to show you. So this center one, this is Substance. Ooh, these are heavy. The center one at the bottom is upside down, is Divine Mink. Trying to get the glares off. Can I? Yeah. So the two in the center. So Divine Mink does have like a, seems like it has a purplish hue to it, whereas Substance is just a gray. But they, I'm loving how, I was going to say they go well together. I know I have a habit of not finishing my sentences. But when I'm doing the outwards and with the gradient, to me, it looks like it's just a multi-chrome on my lid, because you have the black and then the blue, and then it goes into the kind of want to be purple and then the gray. Like, if you just look at this across the lid, yo, and I do wish this side was sharper, because this side is, and I probably, this is the brush I use for concealer. We're going to see if we can sharpen that line. Did we do it? When I go like this, I can see this side is sharp. When I do like this, not so much. So let me go down closer to the lash line. I think I just messed it up, because now it's like a little hook right here. All right, we're going to leave it. It's still not this, well, that might be the same. I don't know. So what we're going to do next, I am just really ecstatic. So we're going back to Mothership 4, and we're going to take Enigma, this shade here. So we went from a purplish shade to the gray, and down to a lighter gray. And we're going to put this on the inner corner, and we're using a shorter, more dense shader brush, because we have a smaller area. So we're just going to put this right here. Y'all, oh my gosh. Play in y'all makeup, please. Please. And we're going to, what side has the color? This side. And we're going to just sweep right here, just to bring that up towards our brow bone. Why do I go like this instead of like, instead of nodding? I'm like, when I get excited, I do the silliest, goofiest things. And I tapped like right here and did not mean to. Do I even know what I'm doing? Do I know where my inner lid is? I don't know. We're gonna pretend I do. Sometimes, y'all, I'll really be sitting here like, what the heck am I doing? We're gonna take the brush with concealer on it, and we're just pressing that down to just try to get, yeah, that shadow off. Sometimes, even though I like how my looks come out for the most part, sometimes when I'm actually doing the looks, I feel like I don't know what the hell I'm doing. If you do videos, let me know if you have that feeling. Like, if you're doing the look, and even after I said, you know, how awesome the gradient is, like the multi-chrome and all of that, it's like some parts, like when I messed up over here, I really be like, do I even know what the heck I'm doing? And I know we can be our own worst critic. I know. Now we're going to do something I kind of don't want to do, but I wanted to keep it even. Out of each palette, we're using 4 shades. And so I wanted to keep it even. We're going to take Skin Show Nude with this rough-ass Zueva pencil brush number 240. I do have 2 of them. I don't like them. If I still don't like them after this look, they're just really coarse. I don't like them for liner. If I didn't have hooded lids, these would be great for liner, because it does make a thicker line. You can go super thin, but usually my lines end up thick. But it is a good brush for liner, upper lash line, or if you're doing graphic liner. But it's just a really rough. It's not a soft synthetic brush. And all my brushes are synthetic. I have an allergic reaction to natural hair brushes, but I chose this brush because this will ensure I get right up under the brow, because it is so thin, versus like the Fenty brush that's tapered and triangular, or one of the Esom brushes. So that's going to stay there. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So it serves a purpose. I just need to get a different brush with this shape. These are the 2 smallest, thinnest brushes that I use for my upper, it's not upper anything, my brow arch area. And that's why I've kept them. But they're not soft. It's not horrible. Like, it doesn't feel like it's scratching. If I were to use these for lower lash line, it would feel like it was scratching. So maybe I'll keep them. I don't know. We're going to bring some just right here. I love how small it is. And I do have, I'm not going to get into it. We're going to go into Ultimate Taupe, still in Mothership #1. And we're going to put that over top of it. I remember saying every time I use one of the Skin Show shades, I put something else over top of it. This one feels scratchy. I'm going to just call it. These are going in the trash after this video because I'll just have to get the hang of using my other brushes for under my brow arch area. Because these are just not enjoyable to use. And I was thinking of a friend of mine. She always talks about, well, not always, but when she talks about what she's going to keep with declutter, she talks about how, you know, it brings her joy. And that gave me a new perspective. Like if I don't, and I've kind of been that way, like if I don't like using it, but it made me more conscious of, do I really enjoy using this or not? And I did thank her for when she says that in her videos, because it reminds me, even though like on a subconscious level, I'm like, I don't really dig this. It's not, I don't like using it. But it keeps me more aware. This is a brush with no shadow on it. We're just going to just lightly feather. And actually, you just kind of go back and forth in this area. Because there's like a gap. There's no shadow right here. And I don't want to put shadow there. But I could put Ultimate Taupe there, I guess. And the reason I didn't use this brush for brow areas because it's a whole lot wider than this little tiny brush. But yeah, I could have taken, do I want to take, no, I'm not going to put Ultimate Taupe there because doing this is blending up the shades on the lid. So we're just going to do small circular motions, blend and bring the lid shades up higher into that area. And that's going to be that. So these two brushes right now are going in the trash. Now what we're going to do, we're going to put the black liner on our lower lash line. This wears down quick. I think I might have already mentioned, I will not repurchase this. I am very partial to retractable eyeliners. The one that I tried today on my waterline to see if it was going to irritate my lids or not, I was excited about it because of the color of it. And when I saw people use it, it did show up, and it did show up. And I overlooked the fact that it was not retractable. So I was just like, ugh. And even using it the one time, it wore it down so much where I cannot even use it on my inner rims again. And I only put it on the bottom because it is like super soft. And looking at reviews, one person said they put their liner in the freezer for 10 minutes before they sharpen it. I put a liner in my freezer. Would I remember it's even in there? No. So I'm like, that's not an option for me. It's not an option for me. And even when I sharpened this one, it was fairly easy to sharpen. A couple of times pieces broke off because it is so soft. But I'm like, I'm not putting liner in the freezer. I would have to set a timer and name it, take liner out of freezer. Because I'd be like, why is this going off in 10 minutes? Like, what did I set this alarm for? But anyway, that's just me. We're going to take this brush and we're going to go into Hedonistic. Decadence #4, this red shade. So we're going to put a bright color underneath. Actually, it's like a burnt, it's a dual chrome. Because I'm seeing orange and then I'm seeing red, this one right here. So it's like a fire color. Hedonistic is what it's called. So this is going to go on our lower lash line. I feel like my eyes are trying to tear. They did tear initially when I put this liner on my inner rims. And I said, I'm going to leave it on and see. But then it stopped. And it did wear off, like on the inner and outer corners. Some people were saying, you know, it smudged real easy. It didn't last. Other people, reviews were, oh, it lasted all day. And I know it's different for different people. So I'm debating whether or not to keep it. Because if I kept it, because after I sharpen it, I may not be able to use it on my lower waterline, just like with the pat one. I would just end up using it for my lower lash line. And I have enough NYX retractable eyeliners for that purpose. This that's on there now is not NYX. But I was excited about it because I have Coutura from Melt that I sometimes use on my upper lash line. So I thought this would be a nice shade to put on my inner rims when I use Couture. But anyway, so that's why I got it. And it does feel like my eyes are tearing. So that is it for the shadows. And so what we're going to do, I'm going to powder down the face because I just have one Fenty Brow Pencil Pat Primer Foundation. We're going to powder down with the Pat Medium Light or Light Medium 2 setting powder. We're going to do the same Pat bronzers, the same Pat highlighter. We're going to, I think I'm going to just use Desert Orchid today for blush because I know I've been using Paradise Venus in the last few videos. So we'll probably just do Desert Orchid today. Same thing, we're going to do the liner, the Pat liner, upper lash line, Lancome Sills Boost, Mascara Primer, MAC Stack Mascara, and then we will come back and figure out a lip. We have everything done except a lip, and I was looking at the lippies, and one that I don't think I've used recently in this series is Earth Angel. So we're going to put it on only because I remember using Bronze Venus, I remember using Alienergetic, I remember using Astro Moonflower at least twice, I remember using Astro Flash Dance, which I think will look nice with this look. But because we have not used this one, because the glosses really are not that much of a color on me, on their own especially, we're going to use Earth Angel. And I'm thinking what Tanya said too. I think it was one of my shorts. You see this dual chrome that's going on? She said that gloss was glossing. They are nice, and it is a nice formula. I will say, if you get Ipsy, which I don't even put that in my description box anymore. I am so done with them. I did cancel my subscriptions. Ipsy Glam Bag. My box this month is on its way. And I did order an add-on, but then I started watching videos and people were saying that palette, one of the shadows was coming cracked. And I'm like, damn it. But I think some people got it as their boost item. My boost item is always chosen for me, except the one time. So I don't know like what's up with that. And so I purchased it as an add-on, but you'll see that when that video goes up. So this is Earth Angel. I think it's pretty. So this is the finished look. Let me know what you're thinking. And we did do the Desert Orchid blush. So Bronze Divinity here and along here and up here. Desert Glow like here in this area. And then Desert Orchid blush and the Venusian Nude highlighter as usual. So this is the look. Thank you for being here. And hang tight, not for this video, but make sure your notifications are turned on so you'll know when the scavenger hunt video goes live, because I do not want y'all to miss it. Things I was working on, well, not working on, but waiting for, it worked out. And so yeah, we are ready to rock and roll, and I'm super excited. I hope that you are excited too. And I'm still trying to figure out how to show all the prizes. The scavenger hunt video, I will link the previous video of when I showed what some of the prizes may be, so that way you'll know what some of the prizes are or maybe, but not every single thing, because I did get more stuff in after that. Well, I shouldn't say purchase more stuff after that, but you want to try that again, troll? Actually, I do. Thank you. You're welcome. That'll be it for this video. I am just, when stuff turns out nice, I'm just ecstatic, as you can tell. That will really be it for this video. Thank you for being here. As always, self-acceptance, self-love. That is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Love yourself and play in your makeup. You will see me soon.